Hello, welcome back. Like I say, this video is following straight on from the other. Saves me doing a good 40-minute video, which will probably start annoying people really. So not too much waffle here. Like I said, this is following on from the CVG video I did the other week, looking at issue 150, which had just gone through a redesign, giving it a spine. Yep, it's no longer spineless. Well, it was no longer spineless when it went through design. Sorry, I'm waffling. So this is issue 164 from July 1995. So it's just over a year on, really. So it's like 14 issues on. So on the cover here, we have got Killer Instinct on SNES. So summer 95. So we're going 29 years back now. Quite a lot in this. It's going to be interesting to see what the state of industry is. 16-bit stuff still hanging on, but also, you know, a lot of space given to things like the PS1, Saturn, arcade gaming. PC gaming's really starting to take off. And yeah, by the around October, November time, so only a few issues on, you've got Paul Davis coming in. So this is just before CVG hits its golden era. You know, the start of a golden era anyway. Well, I say golden era, eyes of many anyway, because some people love the, you know, like Jazz Rignall stuff, which, you know, gave birth to meme machines and stuff. But anyway, we're not here to talk about that at the moment. We are talking about July 1995, packed full of stuff, still quite a busy contents page. We have got Mark Patterson as editor, Gary Lord as dep editor, and like reviews editor, Radian Automatics still on here, Simon Clays, Rick Henderson, a few names that I recognise, you know. Yeah, so let's have a look and see what's going on. So, big E3 news, no longer going as a show. So we have got the Ultra 64, aka N64, slipping again. We got that start in 1997, so it's like another 18 months off in the UK, you know. Obviously, you still have the SNES going strong. You've also got the Saturn launch as well, so this is, well, quite a big deal really for the Sega fans, even though, you know, in regards to like how it's viewed historically, you know, there's things that we did wrong, but then when you do actually look at the entire Saturn library, there's some really good stuff. So I'm not going to start going something too long because this is a 130 odd page magazine. We have also got, so this is all your E3 news, the PlayStation price announced. So the war is about to begin. Sony entering the market in the UK and US. So yeah, it's basically when Sony came out $100 less than the Saturn, so it's coming out at $299. The worry for Sega must be that the PlayStation is going to be much closer to the Ultra 64 in price than the Saturn. It's not only the price though, is it? It's also how, you know, how big the gap was in, you know, actual releasing it. Yeah, so basically how much closer the Ultra 64 is to the price than the Saturn, and that when Nintendo get into gear and where the market is going to form. Obviously we know 30 years on how that went. But yeah, anyway, special reserve advert next to it, full of Amiga games, PC and everything like that. Ooh, we've also got a filled in form. Peter Shaw. I'm not going to read his address, not that I probably live there now, but anyway, there we go. Sony plays it safe. EA Sports target 32-bit. So, and also the 3DO Mark II. So quite a lot of news happening. I mean, like I say, E3, a big deal back then. And then we're going straight on to the showcase preview. This is one of the things that we did bring into the new look when it got relaunched for the year. So again, getting straight to the big business. Killer Instinct on SNES. When this came out on arcade, it looked absolutely stunning. You know, so obviously to have this on home consoles, including the Game Boy there, which doesn't look too stunning, but I'm sure that got okay reviews, you know, when I was looking at things like GB Action. So obviously that's the main feature. It's only 2 pages though. You know, but suppose they've just got a shout about it, you know, working with Rare and getting some exclusive photos and everything. I am going to whiz forward a couple. Oh, here we go. I'm just going to show you this. Street Fighter for Game Boy. So obviously that did eventually come out. I'm only pointing that out because, you know, when you're at school and you always get that one person who has got this rare game back home, or you know full well they're lying, basically. He always said like, oh yeah, I've bought it on Birmingham Black Market. I bought it on Birmingham Black Market. We ended up calling him Pete Blag because everything he came out with was just lies, basically. And this is only quick. We always go, oh yeah, well, can we come around and play Street Fighter 2 on your Game Boy? So this must have been about 1992, something like that. He goes, yeah, no worries. Right, brilliant. Yeah, Mum, I'm going around to Pete's house tonight, playing some games. And he'd always cancel just before the, you know, school bell went. So, oh, I can't do it tonight, can't come round or whatever. But yeah, always the Black Market in Birmingham. You know, it's yeah, it always just makes me chuckle whenever I see Street Fighter actually on the Game Boy. You know, he soon left school. He wasn't around for that long. Anyway, Gunner's Heaven, or Rapid Reload, as it's also known, very early PS1 game. Mostly ignored, but got some okay reviews. Quite a lot like Gunstar Heroes, with your run and gun. Christ. Price £80. Obviously that's an import. 89% they gave it, but people didn't want games like that, you know, when they were buying things like PS1 and Saturn. Oh, this is an import shop people will remember. Fire, quite a few things there. Always shown, even in Superplay, we show this quite a bit. Jaguar, Sega Saturn games, you know, lots of them coming soon and call. Sega Saturn Virtual Hydelade. I always pronounce it wrong. 79%. Bit of an early RPG, if that's your type of thing. Then what else have we got? Game Bug, a preview on Saturn. Game I've still never actually played. And then this one, Astal. Never ever played this, but I know it was on the cover of a couple of Sega magazines. 62%, so obviously nothing too special. This is a big one. This came with the PlayStation Classic. Still never played it after all these years. Jumping Flash. I know it's got its fans. I know there was a sequel as well. Early PS1 game. And I think it's just nothing else really out there like that at the time. Bear in mind, like I said, back in 1995 here. And wow, they were really impressed. So we're giving it a 4-page review. 97% there. You know, that's a very, very high score. So obviously I can't really compare how it holds up now. You know, when I look at games like, say, Croc, and, you know, like some of the camera angles just frustrate me. It's just, I don't know, it's hard sometimes to sort of detach yourself from, you know, how games are all these years on. We have got letters pages as well. Lots of questions and statements made here. We've got the Jaguar CD up there. What have we got? Oh, right, okay. So there's a letter here. There's been a lot of talk in your magazine recently about Darrell Still's Jaguar Saturn PSX comparison. All 3 machines are very powerful, outclassing anything else in the console world at the moment. The Jaguar has received more than its fair share of bad press recently, for a number of reasons. We all know that Darrell Still's letter was never going to be an unbiased and objective argument in the Jag versus Saturn versus PS debate, and will gain little but a slating from PSX and Saturn owners. Darrell, I'm friends with him on Facebook. He worked for Atari for quite a long time, up until everything just really went under. So I'll have to show him that, definitely. See if we can actually find the actual letter as well. Anyway, FX Fighter, a beat 'em up for PC. Something I've never ever played. Something, I don't know. There's not many of the sort of beat 'em up games that I actually want to play, anymore. I think some of them are of the time. I think it was always expected to be playing beat 'em ups. Then we've also got a preview of some upcoming Gremlin games. Gremlin were around for about another 3 or 4 years. So we've got Realm of the Haunting, Loaded. That was a really good game. I got that with me PS1. A game called Ultra Vortex on the Jaguar. Never ever played it. Oh, this one's great. Actual Soccer. Again, speaking of Gremlin games, this is a PC version. Yeah, there's not many sort of football games that managed to have quite a few different sequels and stuff like that. And Actual Soccer was around for quite some time. It was really impressive when that came out. We've got a preview for Comic Zone on the Mega Drive to show there's still a few good Mega Drive games coming out. Pete Sampras 96, never been one for tennis. What's this? This is Parasite Eve. I don't know if this game ever came out. A game called Parasite by Psygnosis on PS1. I was thinking it may be Parasite Eve, but no, because it's a totally different company. Anyway, we've also got a preview of Earthworm Jim on Game Gear and Game Boy. So obviously owners there still got something to play. And now we're finally into the actual review section properly. So Street Fighter the movie on PS1, I think this is 93%. So obviously they're quite impressed by it. Oh no, it's the arcade version. 50p a go, 1 to 2 players. Obviously it did have console versions as well. Then we've got Star Trek The Next Generation, 91% on PC CD-ROM. Fatal Fury 3 on Neo Geo CD. Obviously one of SNK's big series there. Fatal Fury, Art of Fighting, all these stupidly expensive games. Although by this point, with it being on CD, £45 compared to the cartridges. So worlds apart price-wise. What else have we got? There's a lot of PC stuff, as I said. Samurai Showdown on Mega CD and Putty Squad on SNES. So average scores really on the Samurai Showdown anyway, 71 on Mega CD. 84% of Putty Squad. Game I actually have owned in the past. X Fighter on the Amiga CD32. Animaniacs on Game Boy, 82%. Right, okay. While we're talking football games, I just have been Fever Pitch. Game I've got on my SNES, not played it for a very long time. It always got okay reviews because the main idea was you chose like a special player to obviously control. So obviously they had different skills. So it was almost like a beat 'em up with special moves and special skills. 8 to 9% though, so it's not too bad. And then we've got Viro Cop on the PC, also came out on the Amiga as well. 88%, so not bad at all really. Mentioned this in my last video, Ultimate Soccer Manager, 91%. I would love to play that again. I might put that on the Amiga Mini. And then right next to it, Indiana Jones' Greatest Adventures, which I just don't like. You can play that on Amstream though, 78%. Bit high though, I do think. Rise of the Triad on PC, first person shooter game. Recently been reissued by Nightfall Games. I'm sure it actually came out now. I know we were talking about it. And then what else have we got? We've got Judge Dredd, reviewed on every single system. This one was a little bit depressing. Dungeon Master 2 gave 40-odd%. That's awful. Dungeon Master is one of my all-time favourite games, but to see it get so low is it's a bit depressing, really. Syndicate on which one was this now? 8%. What's that? CD32. So again, the original Syndicate had been out a couple of years. Flashback 3DO 80%. So you're getting like a lot of these conversions, really. And then we've got some arcade coverage and pinball coverage as well. So we are putting in a bit of everything. We're getting towards the end here. One thing we've dropped the PD games, and then we've got cheat mode, X-Men, Children of the Atom, moves, cheats, tips, all that good stuff that I absolutely used to love. Action replay codes. God, the cheats make up about 20 pages here. Well, that's what we've added to. Then we've got help pages, people's Q&As sent in, you know, technical questions, stuff like that. Just quickly show some of that. We've got Miserable Sega Fan, is Neo Geo CD for me, Killer Consoles, Amiga news. Obviously a lot of worried Amiga fans around this time, you know, what was happening with their machine. More cheats, God, there's absolutely loads. And then we've also got an out now page. So this could be things that have been reviewed for the last few issues, and now a quick little mini write-up to say, yep, they're out. And then we've also got the H&V chart. All format top 10, full throttle on PC. Flight of Emerson Queen on Amiga and PC. Brian Lara Cricket, Dark Forces, Discworld, Ultimate Soccer Manager, Super Skid Marks, First Encounters, Psycho Pinball, and Bioforge. So that's a lot of PC in, you know, the top 10. And then then you've just got like your other little mini charts, and then next month. So weird time. We've actually given up some of the things. I don't think it's as packed as that issue 150 was. That could be a good thing as well, but I don't know, to have your cover feature, Killer Instinct, only have 2 pages. You know, I'd have expected a little bit more, you know, especially the fact that Rare gave him some stuff, but I could just be a bit tight on that, you know. As mentioned, CVG was obviously the multi-format mag, you know, you had NMS and you had Mean Machine Sega still at that time. But yeah, anyway, I will get onto a SNES mag soon. But yeah, I'd just do that, have a quick look. Hope you enjoyed it. Comment, sub, everything like that. Thank you. And I better get back to work and get back onto the next issues of Pixel Addict and Amigo Addict. Thanks a lot, guys. Bye bye.